7 a.m. to 6 p.m. with live radio, asking you to support us in this mission that is Catholic radio, the radio you've come to rely on for education and inspiration and everything else to edify your faith and others, because we have all kinds of listeners to our radio station, our streams, because I've heard Protestants from our area call up and ask questions to Dr. David Anders and others on the air. So I do know that we reach all different kinds of listeners. So if you'd like to be a partner in this effort for evangelization, please give us a call at 888-287-0655, 888-287-0655.
Don't forget, you can always donate online at holyfamilyradio.fm, as well as on or in the Holy Family Radio app, which is available for both Android and Apple users. And if you'd like to receive a text that will give you a link directly to the online pledge form, just text the word GIVE to 419-969-3255. That's 419-969-3255. I believe we still have some matching funds available, Deacon Jeff?
Yeah, we do. Remember, we started off this afternoon with $5,000 in matching funds from a generous donor. And so we still have about $1,000 left of that matching fund. So if you have $100 you want to donate, that automatically gets doubled to $2,000. But we have to have that $5,000 covered before the end of this day today. And if we do, we might even have some more matching funds. I don't know. But if there are, we need to cover these first. So please, if you have an opportunity to donate, go online to our website at holyfamilyradio.fm or our mobile app, hit the donate button, or use the texting number at 419-969-3255. Now, one thing we've been doing throughout this Spirit Drive as best we can is to recognize our underwriters, and we have an underwriter assigned to each hour of our Spirit Drive. And this hour, at the 3 o'clock hour, is we're recognizing Stillwater's Retreat. They can be reached at stillwatersohio.com. They're near Macomb. It's a wedding and event venue over there. It's a very beautiful place, and so we invite folks to check that out and thank them for supporting us. So we also want to thank the Scoop on Main for providing us with lunch today. Delicious wraps. I think it was a ham and bacon. I don't even know what it was. It was a bacon for sure.
A club.
Yes.
But there was a variety
it was
of
a BLT,
there.
I bet.
Yeah,
yes.
You and I both went for the club.
Yes. So it was very delicious. Thank you.
Don't forget the famous broccoli salad.
The broccoli, I didn't see any broccoli salad.
It's tucked in the refrigerator.
Oh,
to keep it nice and fresh.
Keep it.
Not at all tucked to keep it hidden from you. Tucked to keep it fresh.
Okay.
No, the broccoli salad from the Scoop is fabulous.
Okay.
We forgot to thank Bavarian Catering for lunch yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Bavarian Catering provided a wonderful lunch yesterday. We got a summer picnic menu from them: fried chicken and red skin potatoes and green beans and coleslaw. It was absolutely delicious. So thank you, Bavarian Catering. We would very much appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks to all the underwriters and thanks to everyone who's donated so far. We've got a little ways to go to reach our goal. So every little bit helps. So don't delay in contacting us and sending your donation. You don't have to send your donation, make it by credit card. You can send us a check, but we need to know that you're going to pledge that amount. So give us a call. Let us know. We'll take down your information. It's a real simple, easy phone call at 888-287-0655. And one thing before I forget it, because I'm looking at it right here, is today is the 100th anniversary of the birth of Mother Angelica, the founder of the EWTN Global Catholic Network. They provide all the programming essentially for Holy Family Radio. We offer a couple little local programs in there, but we just want to recognize Mother Angelica on her 100th birthday, and everyone who donates will be sent one of these prayer cards to you as a thank you and as remembrance for Mother Angelica and all that she has done to help evangelize the world. Essentially, it's the world's largest religious network of broadcasting, whether that is television, radio, or internet. So,
And don't forget, I don't think we've mentioned it too much today, but we consider this open house week at Holy Family Radio. And so if you didn't make it to the official open house to open the new studio, feel free to stop in and check out the new studio. We're just so blessed to be in this space now, and you listeners are responsible for that. We wouldn't be here.
Would not be here
without that listener support. And if you are familiar with what we were in before, you can and do appreciate how much we appreciate it.
Yes,
as we were in a construction trailer for
12 years.
12 years. That's right. So glad to be in the new studio now. And speaking of in studio,
yes,
we've had kind of a pro-life day.
Yes, we have
a little bit. We've had
it's very much needed.
We've had a state pro-life leader and a sort of diocesan pro-life leader, and now we have some students from local sort of Ottawa, Glandorf, Putnam County area, Students for Life. We're pleased to welcome in studio Becca Compton and Nick Check. Do you need those mics on?
Yes, I do. There
okay. Say hello again.
Hello.
Well, welcome. So your Students for Life organization chapter, is that the way?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. Is quite new, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, at the end of my junior year, I'm a senior right now. At the end of my junior year, I decided to take the leap of faith and start a Students for Life group at my high school. I faced many different challenges there with students who like to tear down signs and other offhand comments made that sometimes I don't even hear myself. But I decided to take this leap of faith, and I'm very happy that I decided to make this decision. And right now, since I am a senior and I am graduating, we are starting to move leaders. So I am starting to pass on the baton to the next generation of people, and I'm very excited to see what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
I mean, I just kind of got roped in with Becca, essentially. When Becca was setting it up, the way they set it up at OG was that other people who weren't from OG could still come because I'm homeschooled. So I ended up being Becca's right-hand man. I took her vice president seat. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff with posters being torn down. There was definitely issues with getting the word out about the group. People were not the happiest about it when it came to OG and all that. And then additionally, when we eventually branched out to make our Putnam County Students for Life group, Becca was originally in charge of that, but then eventually got a message from the upper people in Students for Life talking about legal issues and said, hey, wait a second, a Putnam County one can't be led by Becca because Becca goes to OG, so only OG people could go to her thing. So they said the only way we can do a Putnam County one is if a homeschooler led it. So Becca said, hey, Nick, you're in charge. So, so yeah, now
So are you a combined chapter then, essentially?
We have a couple different sections around Putnam County. So we have the main Putnam County one is like when we all get together. Like there's a Kaleida Students for Life group led by I won't use
Ella.
Yeah.
I don't know her last name.
I couldn't tell
Ella,
her last
her
name.
name is Ella.
Yeah, Becca's in charge of the OG one then, and then I'm honestly just a face for the Putnam County one. Becca tells me how to do everything.
So what sort of things have you done so far, only being about a year old now, your particular chapter? What sorts of things have you done during that year?
We've done a bunch of like summer events. One specific one is we like to have movies and like bonfires.
Yeah,
those are our favorite things to hold. And then in those movies and bonfires, we have like Jamie or Allison come in and they talk and do a little talk before the movie, question and answer for anybody who has questions.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie, she is our Ohio Regional Coordinator for Students for Life. Okay. So she is basically in charge of all of the Ohio groups in Ohio.
And for those who might not have been listening earlier, who is Allison?
Allison, she is kind of the diocesan leader for Students for Life. So her and Jamie kind of go right hand with each other. And yeah, those are those two people.
Fantastic.
Okay. So
bonfires and movies, they do question and answer. What else?
We also hold meetings about once a month. Those I plan myself, and then typically at those we have kind of what is our game plan. Are we going to have any events this month? or the next month. However, we plan events. We do a kind of current events section where anybody can step up and do what's going on right now in the Students for Life kind of area or in the pro-life area in general.
Yeah.
So.
And then as for like what Becca was saying about the events we plan, like we've done like sidewalk chalk at like the Kaleida Church and St. Peter and Paul. We've done we put the groups together to go for like the Ohio March for Life. They had their first one this year. A lot of us went to the National March for Life, and then Becca and I, we've also started what came from our group and our advocacy, we ended up starting our own podcast too.
Yes.
What's the name of that podcast?
The podcast name is The Post Row Show.
That is on YouTube. We just posted our second episode, so that is out on our YouTube channel, and it'll be out sometime soon on our Spotify. So
It's slow going, but
Yeah.
it's. I'm happy to be doing it. I
am.
think it's good. It's. I'm biased though.
So is it? Do you interview people, or is it like a question and answer? What kind of a sort of content do you have?
In the future, we hope to have people like Allison and interviewing people. But as of right now, we just have like question and answers so far. Like the first episode was we addressed some of the questions, like we did a Q&A. And then just our most recent episode we did was we addressed the more typical arguments we hear from pro-choice people and our rebuttals to those.
Yep. It was honestly, in my opinion, it was very good, and I got a good thumbs up from my mom saying it was a great episode, one of our best so far. So I'm very excited to see where all that continues to go.
Well, the greatest improvement, my football coach always said, the greatest improvement is between your first game and your second game. So in your case, it was first episode to second episode, right?
Yes.
You kind of get the idea that, it takes more than one take typically to record something and do something, unless you're a one-take wonder. Which,
Well, I mean, we tried the first time, but then we didn't have the mic on, and so we had to start over. We got like all the way through, and we went, oh shoot, the mic's not on.
mic's
so
not
I
on.
guess no wonder the second one was so good.
Got so many trials and errors on those.
yeah, who was responsible for that?
I think
I
his
wonder
name
who.
rhymed with like Eek and Jeff.
That's right. That's right, folks. The one of the things that we can do with having a studio like this is that we're able to host, people to do recording a podcast and things like that. So just want to let people know that in other parishes that if there is any interest in doing some sort of podcast, or you need a studio space to be able to do some recordings of things, we have a nice setup here to be able to do that. And we did that with your Post Row Show, and it was fairly easy. We got the cameras all set up, recording equipment. It sounds good. So, I'm not going to edit those videos though. That takes a long time to do.
To think a great editor for that.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I thought it was really good too. Now, you also, if I recall, you were part of a protest, a local protest, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? That's what the Students for Life thing, right?
Yes. Kaleida was the main one that pulled it together. The leader, Ella, she contacted me and was like, hey, I heard about this thing. It's like a worldwide, like a national thing. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it at the Ottawa Pharmacy. So we did it at the Ottawa Rite Aid. It was, Ohio is not specifically selling the pill, but it was a nationwide protest. So it was kind of just for the big company itself, not just the specific one.
You're fine.
So yeah, Nick.
If I can just clarify a little bit, like, so the protest specifically was in protest of like pharmacies like Rite Aid or anyway, miscellaneous pharmacies selling the abortion pill drug. So that's what we were protesting while we were out there.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the same one that's the Supreme Court is considering now?
Yes.
Is it that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
They issued their decision this afternoon.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh. Do we have breaking news? I don't know.
It might be breaking, but it's not happy news.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they decided to allow it to stay available via mail for at least the time being, without any further restrictions. So I haven't read the decision. This comes from a headline.
Okay.
Popped up on my phone.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's like we got
Yeah,
our work
so-
cut out for us.
Yep.
We
yeah.
sure do. You know, the Dobbs decision seemed like a victory, and it was. It absolutely was. But it also cast the gauntlet down. You know, made the challenge all the more real and present. And, you know, drew up the battle line, so to speak. And so now they're being fought, you know, very vigorously on the state and local level.
Yeah. So we were protesting that. And the remarks we got back were typically they were a lot of good. We had a lot of commotion. We had a lot of like fire trucks go by and like buses, and they were all honking and cheering. It was very fantastic and fun. We ended up staying there for like 4 hours, standing outside of Rite Aid till we got too cold and decided to go to Cancun. But we had like 2 people who flipped us off, and then we had
I like how you're just so like, yeah, that guy.
yeah, we had 2 people, and then we had somebody yell out their car.
Probably shouldn't
which-
necessarily repeat.
No, I should not repeat what she said.
No, I don't have a bleep button.
Yeah, that's
on
what I'm
it,
saying. I'm
so-
saying, yeah,
So-
don't.
Please don't.
No,
Yeah.
but she did say a not so good remark out of her car door. So that
Well,
was
only 3 then, you know, 3 bad responses I would mark as pretty good
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
overall. So, well, thank you for your work in that. Are you planning, you know, besides your bonfires and movie nights and everything, do you have anything in the works right now that you're working on? Any event you're planning on hosting, that sort of thing?
Not really any big events right now, but we do have our next Students for Life meeting at OG. That's next Wednesday
Yeah. And
from 3:30 to 4:30.
we'll be able to workshop stuff.
Yeah,
For
so
future events coming. Like,
yeah, that's a meeting basically for the new leaders. Get them on, get them running their own meetings, make sure they got everything intact while I'm still here. So, and then it's going to be handed off to them for any summer events, basically, that we have.
So if people are interested, maybe this is obvious, maybe it's well known at the high school, but if there's somebody out there that's interested in getting involved with your group, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
The best way is to honestly just talk to me or talk to anybody who they might know is in it, like any friends who they know. That's honestly one of the best ways. And if you go to OG, our emails are kind of like connected to each other, so you can normally find anyone. So,
yeah.
So if there's anybody listening who might be interested in starting a chapter at their high school, because we cover a large area, how do they go about doing that?
first of all, they can contact any of the region coordinators that we mentioned here, like Jamie or Allison, or they can go to any website like Students for Life. That's how they can manage to contact them there. They can go there. And after you find more information on it, you can go ahead and start talking to your principal. But you actually do need to have like a conversation with them, because that's one of the biggest issues is with your principal. And so definitely start talking to them, and then you can start getting things into the works and start doing meetings, and from there on decide where you want to go and which directions you are going in.
Yeah, don't you need someone from the faculty to be an advisor for that? So it's not just the principal who needs to
Yes.
give the stamp of approval, but someone else also.
Yeah, you need some kind of teacher, staff member, anyone who works in your high school to basically sit in the meetings. They don't really have to do anything, but they can sit in the meetings and just watch over, make sure you're actually getting some work done and stuff.
Except, I mean, like I said, our group is a little like
Our
it hasn't been made officially in a group yet. So there's certain things we can't do at OG,
Yeah.
but they're gonna be trying because they don't have an advisor, like a teacher or someone from the school, and so it's not like an official club. But that's why people like me, I live out by far out by Columbus Grove, but I can go to the OG thing. But as soon as we're working, the new leaders, they're going to essentially try to make it an official group. So then people who don't go to OG won't be able to come to this meeting, but then they'll be able to attend stuff at they should be able to do stuff at football games, right? Won't they be?
Yeah, they'll be able to do
actually
stuff
start doing stuff at the school.
at school events and
It's-
during school
yeah.
hours.
But right now, OG's is kind of like an unofficial club, but we're
Yeah.
working on actually solidifying it.
Getting it
Okay.
official.
Yep.
Without naming any names, have you had any trouble locating a staff member that would be willing to be the official advisor?
From my knowledge, not really.
Yeah,
I think it was just I think this teacher would be best at it, and they asked, and he was. So
Fantastic.
that was really kind of an easy
yeah, I think
go on there.
that's what I heard too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're blessed to be in an area that's supportive of pro-life issues. So,
Yes.
that's fantastic. Listeners, we think you're blessed to be able to hear Holy Family Radio, to hear Catholic radio, if we can humbly suggest that. And we would ask for you to partner with us in bringing quality Catholic radio programming across the airways to your car, your home, wherever it is you like to listen. But we need your help to do that. We need you to call 888-287-0655. That's 888-287-0655. And I believe we still have matching funds on the table.
Yep, we do. I don't think the phone has rang in the last 20 minutes or so. So we need that to happen. 888-287-0655. But you know one thing, Kim, that's different this year than has been true at other places, other times, is that there have been more people coming in here and visiting and dropping
Yes.
off checks and everything else than we ever did out at the old studio. So that is definitely one
Shocking.
benefit. Well, yeah.
Yeah, she ironically said, but right. Yeah, like, we were out in the country,
Yes.
so it's a little bit further and, you're visiting an old construction trailer, but here, it's an opportunity to see the new studios. It's very handy,
Yep.
connected right to basically the former parish center.
Right.
Well, no, it's still their
It's
parish
still
center.
the parish center. This
The
used to
former
be a
school.
classroom, right? This
Yeah.
used to be a preschool classroom for kindergarten. Actually, let me take a step back. This was the old kindergarten classroom. The preschool did not actually use this room. It was like a storage room. It wasn't being used. And it had a bathroom in it, which really is, thumbs up for me to have running water and facilities right in the same office. So that was really great. So, and it was renovated, and this just works out perfect for us. So we couldn't be more happy about that.
So come on out and check it out. If you haven't, bring your donation in, or if you're not able to bring it in and you'd like to mail it in later, after the tax refund or whatever your financial situation is, feel free to come in and check out the studio. You can get a Mother Teresa. Not Mother Teresa.
Oh my gosh, no.
Mother Angelica.
There you
It's
go.
getting late. Mother Angelica prayer card to celebrate her
100
birthday was 100 years ago today.
That's right.
100 years ago today. You can also pick up, we haven't mentioned these, but you can pick up a Holy Family Radio magnet.
That's right.
To stick
we
on
got
your
claims
car.
and magnets. Yep.
And those are often popular.
Yeah.
So stop in and get that.
So, all right, we are wrapping up our time here with our Students for Life here from Ottawa Glandorf, Becca Compton, and Nick Check. Want to thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully, we had a lot of people listening and can maybe carry on Students for Life in other places.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, you're listening to Holy Family Radio Spring Spirit Drive here, 88.9 FM WJTA and 94.9 WOHA over there in Ada, and W204CU in Findlay on 88.7. Thank you so much for listening. We'll go to a break. Coming up next is our art contest winners from Columbus Grove St. Anthony. It's always a fun time to speak with the students and their artwork and just kind of have a good old fun time. So stay with us. You're listening to Holy Family Radio Spring Spirit Drive 2023. And we'll go to a break right now.